You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Two and 4. A 16-10 defeat against the Indianapolis Colts. The Dolphins fell to move to 3-3, and this is the first loss the Dolphins have suffered after a bye week under Mike McDaniel, albeit a small sample size. Here with me to, I guess, dissect what went wrong this afternoon / this evening is Charlie Touche. Charlie, how are you?
This is Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. The Miami Dolphins fall to 2-4. Like Kadeem said, failed to improve to 3-3. And this one was a little different because it looked like we had it in the bag. I'm like, yo, we're going to do this. My boy Anthony Richardson is trash. He's trashing my fantasy football teams all over the world. And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. We're going to walk out with this W. You at the Hippodrome, Kadeem?
I was. It was absolutely packed due to it being a London game. Obviously, I was there from 2 p.m. empty, and then obviously once the Jaguars Patriots game finished, everyone rushed to the Hippodrome. So it was a packed room, very packed.
Man, what did you make of the game? I felt like it was going pretty good. I felt like things were going our way, and then it wasn't. What did you make of it?
I think that we don't normally do a keys to the game, key to victory kind of thing on Go Time Dolphins. But if we did, my 3 keys would have been run the ball, play good defense, and don't turn the ball over. Which, to be fair, is what you kind of expect most weeks. But this week in particular, if the Dolphins do those 3 things, they win the game. And the Dolphins done, I guess, 2 of those. The Dolphins done 2 of those 3 things, and the one thing they didn't do cost them the game. The Dolphins turned the ball over twice, and that's, in my opinion, ultimately led to the defeat. I don't think the Colts beat the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins beat themselves. Also, shout out to Tim Carroll. He says, "Hey guys," and in doing so, Tim Carroll has automatically entered himself into a Dolphin jersey giveaway. But also, Tim is a patron over on Patreon, so he was automatically entered. So shout out to Tim. He also says, giving up the 3 before half and the turnover start of the third quarter really hurt. You on mute.
So I'm trying to look up this turnover thing real quick. Who had more turnovers, the Dolphins or the Colts?
Dolphins. Raheem Mostert and Alec Ingold coughed the ball up, and the Colts coughed the ball up once in the red zone, the botch snap. That's all I can remember.
All right, yeah. So no, I had to just make sure it was, we lost the turnover battle. So when you lose when you lose the turnover battle, it's like an 83% chance you're gonna lose. Like, you're not gonna win that game if you lose the turnover battle. And both of our turnovers, Kadeem, were in places where, bro, if you don't turn this ball over, the game is going your way. And then, Raheem Mostert lost his fumble, and Alec Ingold lost his fumble. And I'm like, bro, that second one hurt worse, but maybe not worse, but that first one, I feel like where were we when we lost that? Were we not like inside their 30, or were we not driving?
The Ingold one, I believe, was inside the 20, the 30 or 20. Like, it was at the very least, you're walking away with 3 points.
Yeah, man. So you leave points on the table, and then Jason Sanders completely turned the corner. completely done with Jason Sanders. He hits it off the upright, and I'm like, bro, you can't play football like this, bro. You need everybody to bring their A game. And I'll be real with you, it's a little bit more than the turnovers too, because you still had a chance to win late. Yeah, you gave up 3 at the end of the game. You gave up 3 before the half. All right. You still have a chance to win this. Tim Boyle, for everyone who said, oh, we need to start Tim Boyle over at Huntley. Well, here's your chance, Tim Boyle. You get a chance to be like, yo, I told you I was the dude you should have went to, right? So Tim Boyle has a chance to come down, have a game-scoring, a game-winning drive. Not saying that it's something that you could just sneeze at, but why did he even say that? You know, we'll get into that some other time. Sneeze at. But anyway, so, and then at that point, I don't even think Tyreek Hill and Waddle had combined 4 catches at that point. You know what I'm saying? But who knows? You know what I'm saying? How about this? This is where I'm like, nah, bro, this ain't it. Coach McDaniel, bro, you have what, a minute, 40 seconds, something like that, to drive down the field. A minute and 40 seconds, bro. There's no excuses no more about this man's clock management, bro. It is terrible. It is probably the worst I've ever seen from any head coach. That's not hyperbole. Like, he has the worst clock management. While I'm watching this, the only thing I could think of, Kadeem, was Coach McDaniel being mic'd up, talking about clock, and he says clock, and they clock it, and he says, nice, bro. So while I'm watching this drive and we're moving the ball, I'm like, clock, like clock it. We're not clocking it, bro. And I'm like, bro, this is not. You don't have your starting quarterback back there to just have 2 plays where you're like, yo, I like these 2 plays. If we get to the 30, and we're gonna, nah, bro. You got to get this thing as close as possible with as much time as possible, and give Tim Boyle a chance. And we didn't do that, bro. Like, that last drive was telling to me, like, man, bro, I've already said it, but I'll say it again. We're not winning because of Coach McDaniel, bro. We're winning because of Tua.
So I do kind of want to get into some of the comments as well, simply because they have entered themselves into the giveaway. So Cliff D says, fire Ross. Yehudi says, not even too upset, aside from the fact that we let Sanders take another 55+ yard field goal. Gives them good field position, and they turn it into 3 points. Should have taken a delay of game and punted. Tim Cabo said the turnover on downs, missed field goal should count as well, in my opinion, and that is true. And then Yehudi says, putting a Brandon Aubrey in there, and we're seeing overtime. And yeah, it's like, what I find so interesting is, I feel like, you know, just from looking on social media, looking at different YouTube or different Dolphin channels on YouTube and all that kind of stuff, everyone said the key to the game, or the Dolphins win this game if they run the ball. And I feel like McDaniel went, okay, I'm going to run the ball. But it's also so heading into the game, the Colts have the 31st ranked run defense in the league. And that's cool. That's brilliant. But part of that reason is because you have to respect the pass game. And it's a shot at Huntley, but it's also not a shot at Huntley. When he's in that quarterback, no one is respecting the pass game. No one is going, hey, Huntley's going to dash us up. He's just not going to do that. So you get a situation where in the first half, Tyreek Hill has 0 receptions. So 0 targets, let alone receptions. Waddle, I don't even know. I think Odell Beckham has 1 or 2. And Odell Beckham is a whole nother issue we need to discuss at a late, if not today, at a later date. But you get a situation where the Dolphins are running the ball, but because they're not threatening to pass the ball, the Colts are just telling out for the run. So you then get into a situation where, okay, you're down 6 with 1 minute 40 to go, and Tim Boyle is at quarterback. Everyone knows you're going to pass the ball. So at that point, it's like there was no balance to the game design today, and that is a Coach McDaniel situation. Sorry, that's a Coach McDaniel fault, but also just I don't know how you can win in that situation. And again, like you said, the Dolphins win because of Tua, not so much because of Coach McDaniel, because McDaniel doesn't, as I said before, since Tua took a snap in the NFL, the Dolphins have won 2 games. and that's so 2 games in which Tua hasn't played, and Tua's missed what 14 games at this point, 14/15. So the Dolphins are 2-14 without Tua. To me, that says everything.
I mean, it says he missed 16 games. That's one thing. That's not good.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
And yeah, that's play caller. Mike McDaniel's the play caller, so he has to get that. If anyone's wondering, well, why is Tim Boyle in running the last drive of the game? It's because Tyler Huntley got hurt, right? So we didn't really say that, but Tyler Huntley ends up getting hurt, and Tim Boyle has to come in. So here we are watching the bro. I thought we had a chance. One, we were up 10-3, maybe. I think something like that. I feel like
10-3 heading into the half. Yeah,
I'm like, yo, we're good.
Yeah,
I thought we were going. I really thought we were going to win the game. If I'm gonna be real with you, this is me in my old age. I might take a nap during the Dolphin game. That would never happen. You know what I'm saying? But here I am. I work 72-hour weeks. I'm tired, and I'm like, man, bro, I didn't get no sleep last night. I really want to watch the game, and we're up. I'm like, yo, it feels good. We're gonna get this. And nah, bro, we're not gonna get this. So something I want to point out at the end of the game, Kadeem, when we're doing that drive, I think it was the first catch of the drive, first catch of the last drive. It could have been a delay of game penalty on the Colts for like laying on Tyreek Hill or something like that. But bro, Tyreek Hill gets up and starts talking to the defense. Bro, he was literally the last person to line up so we could snap the ball because you wanted to yell at the defense and you wanted to talk trash to the defense, bro. Like, bro, get on the ball. We need every second we can get right now. You over here talking about, oh, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to you. You know what I'm saying, bro? Line up, bro. This is a no huddle, hurry up. And when I seen that, Kadeem, I'm almost sure, and I said this on the podcast before, I'm almost sure that they don't run they run 2-minute drills at practice, but they don't clock it ever in practice. Like, bro, I need a real 2-minute drill where you got to call timeouts, coach. You got to call timeout. You don't know how to call timeouts. We didn't have none this time. You don't know how to clock the ball either. So I need when we run 2-minute drills in practice, I need everyone to practice as a 2-minute drill, not just the players, but the play caller as well. And coach, I feel like this is every game there's a clock issue. We're always talking about coach, bro. Like, yeah, and I'm not saying get rid of the coach, and I'm not saying get someone to call plays, but I'm saying, bro, you got to make improvements. It's the same way another player has to make improvements, bro. Same mistakes every time. That's silliness, bro.
Okay, but then genuinely, so I had this conversation in the Dolphins UK chat, and a few people are in this chat, and they said this loss is on McDaniel, and I was like, I wholeheartedly disagree. Do you put this loss on McDaniel, or there's no like, if you was to assign blame to one person, which I don't normally agree with, but would you put the blame on McDaniel today or the players?
I mean, I think every loss is on the coach first. I really believe that. I believe the coach has to put players in the position to succeed. But I'm a big proponent of, the accountability has to be placed where it should be placed. And if there are multiple assailants that need to be accountable, then there's multiple. So by default, it goes on McDaniel. But man, bro, it doesn't matter where I put the blame at. It's just like, bro, we got to be better than that. Even if we had our starting quarterback in, you don't run a 2-minute drill with no timeouts like that. You have to stop the ball. You have to clock the ball.
It was interesting because that 2-minute drill in itself is like, I think the passes, and again, it could be I'm not absolving McDaniel of any blame. I want to say that first and foremost. But it's always like the play call / the complete passes, like you have no timeouts, but the passes are not even like towards the sideline. So the moment you get tackled, you're inbound straight away. And it's not like you have two away, like, yeah, I'm going to rip on for 40 yards. Like, I watched recently the end of the Bills-Chiefs game where, like, the Chiefs have 13 seconds to drive down the field to get a field goal. And they do it. And to be fair, Mahomes, Kelsey, that's a whole other issue. But I'm looking at it going, Okay, so completion to Achan, but he's nowhere near the end zone. So the moment he gets tackled, okay, great. You then have to hurry to the land, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if that's McDaniel. I'll have to go back and watch it. I don't know if people are running routes to the middle of the field, hoping to get the ball and break a big one, or whether there are routes towards the sideline and Tim Boyle just completely ignored it. I think my bigger issue with today is that the Dolphins were in cruise control until they went behind and then tried to switch up the game plan. But by then it's way too late. So even about the whole clock management, all that kind of stuff, I felt like today the play calling and clock management wasn't that bad until we got, oh my days, we're down 6 points, under 2 minutes with 0 timeouts. And it's like I said earlier, at that point you can't change the game plan up because the Colts defense are now going to pin the rear back and rush the quarterback. So I say all that to say this. I don't place the blame on McDaniel today, but the Dolphins do have a bigger issue with their play calling, which is once Tua isn't playing, the whole thing goes to absolute crap. And that, in my opinion, is on McDaniel. Also, before I hand it back onto you, a few more comments. Shout out to everyone joining us on the live. Lee Connolly says, O-line is horrible, terrible discipline, ... coaching. Apologies for pronouncing this name wrong. I believe, I say pronounced it wrong, I haven't pronounced it yet. Is it Gordica or Gordka? Okay, apologies if I've mispronounced that. He says McDaniel is an issue, Greer is a bigger issue, but ultimately, until Stephen Ross steps away, I can't see much changing from our current middle of the road obscurity. Lee comes back and says Tua gets concussed in a stiff breeze. If he comes back, how long for? Has been clock management issues from day one. And he says yes on coach today. Tim Caro says sadly too many issues don't improve. Has been getting away from the run too early. Normally not so much this game. Time management, fourth down calls, little to no improvement. And then Lee responds saying yes, Tim. Right running well. He does up a HB dive. He tries to be too clever. And then recruitment. Flacco was sitting there in off season, but the Dolphins kept Skylar.
So when you talk about running routes, whatever the routes are being ran, Kadeem, they're running the routes because that's what the play calls were. So that's the play caller. Now, I don't think there was play calling issues during the game, nor did I think there were clock management issues during the game. But when you needed clock management, you did not have any clock management, and that's when it showed itself. So, yeah, we didn't have clock management during the game, but until we needed it, which is, a minute 45 seconds is a long time.
100%.
That's a long time, bro. You can do a lot, bro. That's the type of time where you like, oh, don't score too fast. You don't want to give the ball back type time. You know what I'm saying? So
very quickly, didn't the Colts in the first half get into field goal range within 2 minutes, if I remember correctly? Like the 3 points the Colts score, I feel like the Dolphins went up, scored a field goal with like about a minute 30 left, and Richardson basically threw the ball down. No, I'll double check, but yeah, I feel like the Colts managed to drive down field and score a field goal within about a minute, 2 minutes max, and the Dolphins couldn't do the same when it mattered.
Shout out to Lee Connolly. He said Tua gets concussed in a stiff breeze. If he comes back, how long for? In all fairness, he played an entire season last year. There were 67 quarterbacks that started last season in the NFL. Tua did not miss a game last year. So it is an odd situation. Like, yeah, I don't feel good about Tua's health right now, but at the same time, it's one of those where we seen him go a whole season, you know what I'm saying, without missing a season, without missing a game. So it's I don't know, bro. It's just not a comfortable situation to be in. That being said, it is Sunday, but I imagine there isn't an episode tomorrow, Kadeem. So Panic Meter Mondays. Where's your panic meter right now?
It's so weird. It's still, maybe I'm wearing the rose tinted glasses and all that kind of stuff. I'm somewhere like a 3 or 4, simply because, again, I'm looking at today's game.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna need some definitive answers, bro, because I'd be letting you slide.
Okay.
3
Okay,
or 4. Like
it's still at
I
3.
believe,
It's still at 3. And the reason it's still at 3 is because I'm watching this game going, the Dolphins have 1 minute 40 seconds to drive down the field and win the game. And like I said, I still feel like it's the Dolphins making mistakes that are costing them, especially today, as opposed to, hey, the Dolphins are playing brilliant football on offense and defense, but they're losing to better teams. The Dolphins stink and are losing. I'd rather the Dolphins stink than lose than be absolutely amazing and lose, if that makes sense.
So my panic meter's still at a 3. Even when I thought we were going to win this game, I'm like, yo, this is why my panic meter was never higher than a 3 before. Because we would have been a game and a half outside of the division. Let's be very fair, like right now, Kadeem. Buffalo is not good. They're not even a good team, bro. Like, and yeah, I understand we got smacked around by Buffalo and we're a little brother all of a sudden to Buffalo. But at the same time, Buffalo's not playing good football, bro. So if you're only a game and a half back, my panic meter was like at a 3. It's still a 3 now. It's unfortunate that we lost this one. But, yo, the teams in our division are not even playing good football. And we're not playing good football, but they have their starting quarterbacks. So it's like, yo, all right, man, like, I don't want to be here. But my panic meter is no higher than a 3 right now. It's not like I'm like, oh, we're done. The season's over with. Like some people have said. I'm just saying.
Shout out to Tim Carroll. So as you were talking, so the Dolphins Colts highlights on NFL is 6 minutes 8 seconds, which says so much about the game we just watched. But as Tim Carroll points out, or as between me and Tim Carroll, when Jason Sanders kicks his field goal for the Dolphins to go 10-zip up, there's 22 seconds left on the clock. 22 seconds. And as Tim Carroll points out, 4 plays, 38 yards, 22 seconds, Colts field goal before the half. Now, you can point at the defense. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, defense do better. No, I should say that defense do better, but also, cool, fair enough. You give up 3 points before half 20 seconds. It's abysmal. 100% do better, but the fact that the Dolphins, I think at one point in the second half, had 3 punts, 2 fumbles, and 1 missed field goal, which says so much about the Dolphins offense. Or the Dolphins.
Hold on, Kadeem. But how you always do this? How
Do
you
what?
always absolve the defense by
No.
Hold on.
No.
Like you went straight to the second half when that was the end of the first half.
I literally said, giving up 3 points with 22 seconds left is abysmal. There's no excuses that the Dolphins defense do better. And if I didn't say that, that is what I was alluding to. To give up 3 points with 22 seconds left is abysmal. That is shocking. There's no 2 ways about that. I don't know what more you want me to say because
it's like an apology when you apologize and then you say, but, you know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I apologize, but, you know what I'm saying? That's what that was. That was, yeah, you did.
But you know what? Even if it was that, yeah, the Dolphins, to me, this game came down to both defenses going, we gave the offense enough chances to score more than 1 touchdown. Both defense done that. The Dolphins offense didn't score a single point in the second half. The defense gave up a touchdown and 2 field goals. But again, like I said, for the Dolphins offense, I can't remember what point the game was, to give up, or not to give up, to produce 3 punts, 2 fumbles, and 1 missed field goal, and this field goal is basically special teams. Who knows?
Yeah, and that's when you can say, yo, the Dolphins can't give up those 3 points before the half in 22 seconds. Dolphins can't get that up.
And then Dolphins lose 13-10.
Then you could say offense has to do better than 3 punts, 2 fumbles, and something, whatever
a missed field goal.
Yeah, and a missed field goal. But you can't precursor it with hey, the defense, but the offense. Like, nah, bro, they both got to get it. But I mean, let's talk about something that's on the horizon, which is the possibility of QB1 returning as early as Wednesday to start practicing again, Kadeem. Is this going to be the spark that we need to be successful moving forward? if he even comes back this week.
Before I get to that, I'm not ignoring it, just trying to get through the comments as well. Shout out to color commentary from the Finn's Tailgate podcast. He says, podcast or show? Let me know what you prefer to be called. But I will say podcast, but probably a show. Color says, I think a fart might stink less than Miami. Manolo Rivera says, hello, chat. The Lee says, last season gave us hope on Tuesday. Health, no doubt. I think Tua's health, sorry. Joe Levesque wants Dolphins to tear it down and start over. New GM, new head coach, quarterback. If you have a player with trade value, get it done now. That's something I want to discuss in bonus time because I heard someone say about trade players. Color says we need an 8-3-1 to be legit now. Lee says Tua healthy last season was such a positive, no doubt. Joe says the 1-15 season was an easier watch than this so far. Tim says one killer play in that left wide receiver wide open to let them get up to midfield. Manolo says Gents is an offense/defense issue that the fish rots from the head. Color says Kadeem is just saying it should be no more than a footnote. Lee adds defense gave the offense plenty of opportunities to do something. Again, apology for pronouncing your name wrong if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Godorka says, apologies.
I think it's Gordiker.
Well, I'll play saving up with Gordica, but again, if you can enunciate it in the chat, I'll try and get it right the next time. He says, season's over for me. Even if we beat the Cardinals, I don't see us winning in Buffalo. So through week 9, we'll be 3-5. Rob says, offense failed again. Yehudi says, I don't think the season is over just yet. AFC East isn't good. Rob adds, he has to come back this weekend or not at all for this season. And then Tim says, what is successful? Over 500 playoffs. Just looking like we know what we are doing. Apologies, I went through all those questions, all those comments. Sorry, what did you ask me? Oh, Tua. To me, Tua has to come back because, as people said in the comments, and what I believe as well, the season isn't over. You're 2-4. Looking at the AFC right now, NFL results 2024. Look at the table. So in the AFC, the Bills are 5-2. Jets and Dolphins are tied at 2-4. The Patriots are 1-6. The Chiefs are 5-0 but playing right now. Chargers are 3-2. Broncos are 4-3. Raiders are 2-4. Both the Ravens and Steelers are 4-2. The Bengals are 3-4, and the Browns are 1-6. And the Texans are 5-2. Colts are 4-3. Jags are 2-5, and the Titans are 1-5. So if you shut down Tua for the season and basically go through the motions from now until the end of the year, like, to me, you're giving up way too early. You are 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 games behind the playoffs? And those 2 games can be 2 games behind the playoffs with so much left to play for. I'm like, why? In my opinion, if someone can, I'm bringing Tua back and I'm saying, hey, we've got so much left to play for. You know, even if the Dolphins lose to the Bills, okay, you do what you do every year. You get swept by the Bills, but you beat the rest of the division. Then what do you do? So no, I'm bringing Tua back. I'm playing him until it's mathematically possible for the Dolphins to not make the playoffs. And again, personally, anyone who, and again, opinion is opinion. Anyone who believes the Dolphins should shut down the season right now at 2-4, I would honestly love to know why.
Yeah, because other teams could, like, bro, the Niners ain't got nobody on the field right now. They're losing players about a minute. Like, literally, Debo is out, Ayuk is out, like, Mason is banged up. Bro, something could change in a week. Like, the same way we lost like 3 players in one game, another team could lose 3 players in one game. Listen, I don't even care about what all those standings you just went down in the AFC and talked about playoffs, like the playoff rankings or standings. Doesn't matter to me because I still think we could win the division. Like, that's what my mind is. We're only 2 games behind Buffalo, 2.5 games behind Buffalo. We play them again, and I still think we could win the division. So whether it's 9 games left, 9 weeks left, looking at a wild card for the playoff, like, bro, I'm like, yo, we can still win the division. Buffalo's not a good team. Paper planes are not a good team either. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, I'm still winning. I'm still trying to win this division. Now I understand what comes with just winning the division and wild cards and stuff like that, which is, boy, y'all trying to go play y'all want to go play in the freezer for the playoffs again? You know what I'm saying? You trying to play in minus 40 wind chill? You know what I'm saying? Like, who wants to do that again? So I do understand the ramifications of, well, it's over. We needed to do this and we needed to get the 1 seed. And nah, bro, you still got to play football. Anything can happen. And it's not like we're 5 games out of the playoffs and we're already looking at the playoff picture like we need help getting in the playoffs. If that's the case, if people are looking like that, I think that's a bit unhealthy. Bro, I still think there's a chance we win this division. Shout out to Joe Levesque, bro. He said the 1-15 season was an easier watch than this. And that's the real statement, bro. And we're only 6 games in. That is a real statement. When we were 1-15, I remember saying, yo, I was a fan when we were 1-15, and I'll be a fan when we go 15-1. Bro, when we were 1-15, it didn't feel this bad, bro. It was not like, and this is excruciating to watch. It is so bad to watch this Dolphins team underperform week in and week out and not make the corrections that need to be corrected as far as, yo, Kadeem, in any other industry or position or job or whatever, if you make the same mistakes over and over again, you will get replaced. You have someone take your position and say, nah, bro, you're not learning. You're making the same mistakes over and over again. And that's what coach does, bro. He makes the same mistakes as far as clock management mistakes over and over again, regardless of who's at quarterback. When we're in a game with Tua or without Tua, like, bro, his clock management is ain't it? You know what I'm saying? And like I said, any other industry, you get replaced. You can't really replace coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, you're out of here. Your clock management is terrible. You're gone. Like, as opposed, like, bro, we went to 2 playoffs with coach. So it's not that simple. And again, there's people who call for him to give up play calling, but I'm like, he's literally one of the best play callers in the league, puts together one of the best offenses in the league. So how do you just replace that? But he has to get better. Has to get better, bro, because it's gonna kill us again. It's gonna bite us in the butt again. It's the same way it did with Skylar Thompson at quarterback in the playoffs, and we had Buffalo on the ropes in the playoffs. Skylar Thompson, and we got a delay of game penalty. And then he went to the press conference and said, "Oh, they told us it was 3rd down. Oh, and then they told us it was 4th down. So we didn't have the right like." So he had the excuses ready. And every time, well, what about here when you scored a touchdown with 10 seconds left? Yeah, we thought it was plenty of time on the clock, and you guys were worried about the timeouts, but we weren't. Yeah, all right, brother. All that sounded good at those times, but nah, bro. This is like, hey, you got homework tonight? You got homework today? You didn't get homework today in school? Oh, no, we didn't get homework. We had, it was raining. They didn't give us homework. Oh, okay. Hey, you got homework today? No, we didn't get homework today because we had a substitute teacher, so we didn't get homework. All right, bro, you always got an excuse why you don't got homework, bro. McDaniel always got an excuse why he has poor clock management, bro. Just own up to him and be like, yeah, you're right, bro. I got to get better because this thing is killing us, and it starts with me.
It is absolutely insane. A few more comments, and I will get back to that. So it's Gordy. He says, sorry, guys, it's Gordy, KR, or just Gordy would be great. I'll change the settings. It's cool. Now I know it's Gordy. I will call you Gordy, so thanks for that. Tim Caro says, is that best? We won't beat the Bills no matter how poor they look. Got a good number of tough games ahead. Should we look at getting a higher draft pick? Lee says, absolutely get Tua back ASAP. I'd be tempted to review after Cardinals game. Certainly not give up. Manolo Ribeiro, 100%. He says, please hit the like button. If you haven't already, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff. Manolo says, bless your heart, Charlie. I wish I shared your optimistic outlook. Tim Carroll says, equally, found us the starting quarterback and got a lot better. Who knows what team will look like when we play them? We can't control that. We should look at a bigger picture. Higher draft pick for quality. I will say this very quickly. So if you haven't seen it, Watson looks like he's ruptured his Achilles, done for the season. Who knows if he'll play in the NFL again, let alone play for the Browns again. I don't like to wish injury upon anyone, but I am a very petty person. So to all the Dolphins fans who wanted to trade Tua and draft what and to bring in Watson, you would have paid him a lot of money for him to look effing shit and then get injured. Please come at me because I will. That is not a debate you want to have with me. For all the Watson lovers, where are you right now? All of you would have got fired. You would have lost your job.
It's a lot of them, Kadeem. It's
Again,
a lot, bro. Hey, bro, they were all over Twitter. They got podcasts. You feel me? They was in our mentions. They was in our DMs, bro. Like, we lost friendships. Like, no, we lost friendships over stuff like this, bro.
We literally did. And again, I'm a very petty person. Charlie might not be. You don't have to like Chris Greer. That's cool. That's your opinion. But if you wanted Watson, he played crap and then got injured. Hit me in my DMs at Kadeem Simmons on Twitter. I will debate you all day long. It's a debate you will not win. Let's just leave it at that.
Hey, don't hit me in my DMs. Hit me in my mentions, and I'll do it in public, and we can talk about it, bro. Like, listen, bro. Shout out to the podcast. Pretty prominent podcast. And this person is a person in the community that said, "Oh, well, ultimately, the Dolphins have now decided to." Instead of going with Flores and Watson, they're going to go with Tua and whoever the other coaches that they bring in. I don't curse Kadeem, but I almost curse and say, you're right. And I'm happy with what we chose as opposed to going with Flores and Watson. Like, look at that. I wish for 1 second, Kadeem, I wish that I was the person who ran the Fins receipt account. You know, the Dolphins receipt account? I wish I was that person for this conversation, bro. Because there's a lot of Watson lovers out there, bro. That's all I got with that.
Carlos says, based on the current NFL and our strength of schedule, 10-7 would actually be competitive and may not be one and done. We have a tough schedule. If we go 8-3, that's legit. And then there's a few questions which I feel like we should get into bonus time. Not right now, but Lee asks, who would you change? And then says something similar later. Tim says, the 49ers, with most of the team out, just got a touchdown against KC. So frustrating, other teams can do stuff for players out, and we don't seem to. But then the 49ers missed an extra point. Yehudi says, thing is, we came into this season with the highest of expectations. Think nobody expected anything after that 2007 team. That's talking about the 1-15 team, and this been harder to watch than that team. Rob says, just saying, what's the winner of snaps to the Achilles if he was in prison? Shout out to Color. He says, I would have got fired, but I wouldn't have paid him what the Browns did. That's talking about people who wanted Watson to listen, fair play to Color, saying he wanted Watson for the Dolphins to draft to trade for Watson. And Tim said, but I'd rather he kept playing, getting booed by his own fans, having own fans begging him for him to be a bench. Way better to see. That's in regards to Watson. And then Lee said, Watson would never have won, lads. I'm just looking at what McDaniel said in his press conference to see if there's anything of note. Apparently, Stephen Ross, Tom Garfinkel, and Chris Greer left the Dolphins coach's locker room. Marcel Lewis Jack says, don't remember seeing Ross in New England or Seattle, but that's not to say he wasn't there. And
Don't remember what?
Stephen Ross, Tom Garfinkel, and Chris Greer leaving the Dolphins coach's locker room. So it seems that a conversation has been had. Mike McDaniel in his press conference says he had to find ways to get Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle the ball. Doesn't think the coach did anything out of the ordinary to take Hill and Waddle away, but said both players are very active in the game even without the ball. One of my favorite comments is from Jalen Waddle. So Jalen Waddle was asked how he tried to impact the game even if he's not being targeted. And Jalen Waddle said, block. Which to me just sums up Miami at this point. Like, if you can't find a way to get Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill involved, then yeah, that's like you're kind of asking to lose games.
So the question I asked you earlier that you really didn't answer, but I asked it real again, and I just need a short answer this time because you did elaborate, but that wasn't a question. The question is Tua the fix? When Tua comes back, is it just that simple that he's going to fix everything that's going on, or is it there's more stuff going on than we just missing the quarterback?
Short answer, yes, Tua is the fix. But
that's crazy. Hey, we doing this giveaway on this side, on the other side?
No, I'll do the giveaway on our next episode simply because I need to get all the names. And I want to give the people who are not in the live a chance to comment. So that's me being extra generous ahead of my birthday. So I currently have about 11 names. So basically, last chance. If you want a chance to win a, let's get that name right because I see already I missed the name. If you comment on this video or the preview video, you are in with a chance to win this jersey, courtesy of Fanatics. Miami Dolphins 66 on the back. Size is extra large as well. Bear that in mind. So yeah.
Hey, so shout out to Game Day Fantasy app where I have Jordan. Well, I have Jordan Mason on my team, Kadeem. But if you play daily fantasy in the UK, you should have had Jordan Mason on your team. So when they just said that San Fran just scored a touchdown, I'm like, yo, was it Jordan Mason? Because I really need all the points I could get right now. I'm down 21 points right now, and I have Devontae Adams left, right? And Jordan Mason. I should be able to pull this thing off, but San Fran's looking like sluggish right now. But shout out to the Game Day Fantasy apps. Fantasy app. We rock with you. Go Time Dolphins. We have our own promo code GTDFF. Kadeem, tell the people about the Game Day Fantasy app.
So yeah, for all of those who are unaware or haven't paid attention, basically, DraftKings has pulled its DFS from the UK, and Fantasy Game Day app have stepped up in their play. So if you're playing daily fantasy beforehand or you want to get involved now, head over to Fantasy Game Day app and use code GTDFF for a free second entry. Again, that's promo code GTDFF on the Game Day Fantasy app for a free second entry. Sorry, Charlie, did you just say you were down 20 points in your
21 points? I'm down 21 points. They have Jaden Daniels left, but Jaden Daniels is out of the game. I have Jordan Mason and Devontae Adams left, but Jordan Mason only has 2 points. He's not doing nothing for me.
So I am up 46 points. And that's mostly because my opponent, Stranger for Danger, has Jaden Daniels in, and he obviously is out. So he has Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson left to play. I've got J.K. Dobbins and Isaiah Likely, and the score is 107 to 61.74. I think it's fair to so ESPN gives me a 95% probability rate of winning this game. Charlie, if I lose this game, this is why I don't play fantasy, because like that is insane for me to lose that game. Like,
but did you start Tyreek Hill though?
I was just about to say, and I quote, "Are you on crack?" But I had to stop myself because I was like, "I'm probably not PC." But no, there is no way I started Tyreek Hill, who got 2.3 points. I also left Johnny Smith on my bench, who had 22.6 points. I did not realize today would be the day that Johnny Smith went off. Like, excuse me for that. But I started Joe Mixon, 26 points, T. Higgins, 18 points. And yeah, like, absolutely insane.
Fantasy Game Day app, GTDFF. Y'all know what time it is. Come on over to bonus time. Y'all know what time it is. What time is it, Kadeem?
Stay positive, test negative. For me, Charlie Touche, I'm Kadeem Simmons. No, for you, for me, I'm
Oh,
trying to say.
that
No,
was really good, bro. That was really good. I'm like, yo, that boy came through. Stay
Listen,
positive, test negative for Kadeem Simmons. I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's showtime. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's showtime. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time.
quick question, and it's a tough question to ask because you haven't gone back and watched the game. But I'm seeing people, and again, it's people's immediate reaction saying Chop Robinson was the wrong pick, send it back, based on not just today's game but the last 6 or 5 games as well. Do you still think it's too early to say Chop Robinson?
Bro, you get like 3 years before you can say, all right, this dude's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'll tell you somebody who is feeling a lot wrong right now. That's 20K Cam, bro. Like, I'm waiting for this man to like arrive, bro. Like, he was not only Kadeem, he was my dog. He was on Touche's 24 before he was a Miami Dolphin. You know what I'm saying? So people could really sound the alarm on 20K Cam, but not Chop Robinson 6 games into his career. 6 games into Chop Robinson's career, he's done. He's not it.
It's funny as well because as Joe Levesque hit the like button, greatly appreciated. And listen, you took the guy in the first round, you want immediate results. That's not my opinion. That's other people's. That is what it is. But on a day like today, where your edge rushers were Mo Kamara, a rookie, and Chop Robinson, a rookie, because Emmanuel Ogba, friend of the podcast, Emmanuel Ogba and Bradley Chubb are out. Jalen Phillips is out injured, and Emmanuel, and I think that's it. Like, I get it. People are angry. People are upset. But outside of hitting the quarterback, I don't think we got a single sack today. And if we did, it might have been like what's his name? Anthony Richardson kind of scrambled forward and we tackled him before he managed to get back to the line of scrimmage. Like, we didn't get home all game, but to me, that's not on Chop Robinson. It's just the way this defense is at the moment. Like, the defense doesn't get turnovers, and many turnovers. And I think when I gave my prediction, if I predict the Dolphins to score 2 touchdowns, it's normally because the defense is going to force a fumble or get a turnover, basically in the opposition half, and then it's an easy way to score points. Basically, Lee Connolly says way too early indeed on Chop Robinson, and then Tim Carroll says Chop had issues that were well known he needed to work on. No one should expect him to have sorted them already. He wasn't a top 5 pick. That's a hope. Yeah, like,
bro, even Noah Igbenogany wasn't a bust after his first 6 games. Like, bro, relax. 6 games, bro. Relax.
Absolutely crazy. So, if we have time very quickly,
and I want to say something about. I believe Manolo said it, and he's like, "Yo, I wish I had Charlie's optimism." I think I'm optimistic because, especially when it comes to sports, because we've seen the craziest things in sports before. We've seen the wildest finishes, and like, there's no way this is supposed to happen ever. And then it happens, and matter of fact, not only do we see it, I feel like we see it every year with some team, some sport, some highlights, something, right? And my thing is, yeah, you want to win a division, you want the 1 seed. But at the end of the day, bro, how often does the 1 seed win the Super Bowl? I don't know it. Maybe it's a lot. I don't know. I'm gonna be real. Maybe it is a lot. But I just know when the Giants went and won the Super Bowl, they were a wild card. When the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they were a wild card. When the Ravens won the Super Bowl, I think they went on the road a couple times. Might have been a wild card. Bro, all you got to do is get to the dance. Now, if Tua comes back and we're still wet in the bed, yeah, we got problems. I just don't think. I think we're gonna be. I think the ship gets righted. I think we right the ship, and luckily for us, the people in our division suck. We just suck worse.
Shout out to Gunner's boss. He says, "Bless up, my first time here. I was introduced to the channel by Crystal of Taliban TV. Shout out to Gunner's boss. Shout out to my girl Crystal as well. Greatly appreciated you coming over and joining us. I don't know if Crystal is live right now. But yeah, greatly appreciate you coming here and joining us over here at Go Time Dolphins. Subscribing, we love that so much.
Hey, like first time on the podcast, and you already entered into a giveaway. You might win a Dolphins jersey. First time popping up over here. That's what's up.
That is absolutely insane. And then yeah, Gunner's boss says Kadeem and Charlie fins up all day, every day. Tim says issue is our edge rush room has been decimated. People want Chop to be the man now because we need him to be. That's not fair. I agree, but I guess at this point that's just fandom. Like there's not much you can really do about that. Very quickly before we go, and it might be a conversation for another day, but Lee Connolly asked a question, Gordy asked a question as well, and it's kind of like, again, who's to blame? What's the main issue? Stephen Ross, Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel. Not so much one has to go, but ultimately the Dolphins are 2-4. Where do you think if you're to blame one person, who would you blame in the situation for why the Dolphins are where they are?
I would say coach. I think it falls on the coaches. The coach puts the team in a position to succeed. He is in more control than the owner and the GM when it comes to playing the game. Now the GM has to give you the ingredients to win, and I believe the coach has that. Obviously, when your quarterback goes out, that's where Chris Greer comes in at. Well, Chris Greer is part of the reason why we're here. But if you only have to put it on one, I'll put it on coach.
Yeah, I think even though I said I don't blame McDaniel for today, I think the reasons you just said it's hard to look at anyone else. Again, I know people will, they'll be angry or they will want Chris Greer gone for the team he's built. But as I've said before, if you went to this season with, or even the last two seasons, I won't look at Mike McDaniel's, bless you. I won't look at Mike McDaniel's.
I put it on mute, bro. Like
I saw you. I saw you. As I say, bless you. If you take Mike McDaniel's first season out of the equation, the last 2 years, if you as a fan have believed that the Dolphins should win, or at the very least should win a playoff game, then in my opinion, you think Chris Greer has done a good job, because who else has put this team together if not Chris Greer? So listen, if you think even without Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins are a bad team, cool, blame Chris Greer all you want. But yeah, to me, it's Stephen Ross has put guys in charge who we believe, and others as well believe the Dolphins should be doing much better than they should be. So I can't blame Stephen Ross for that. And it's the same with Chris Greer. Like we start the season with aspirations of, at the very least, winning a playoff game. So I can't blame Stephen Ross and Chris Greer because they've done on paper everything they need to do. It comes down to coaching.
It's funny, the people who say, "Oh well, McDaniel basically inherited a playoff team." Technically, McDaniel didn't inherit a playoff team because Flores did not go to the playoffs. And it's funny how people try to like, well, it was a playoff team. No, it wasn't a playoff team. You know what I'm saying? And then if it was a playoff team, who put the roster together? And then they'll still say it was Greer got to go. So now if McDaniel so-called inherited a playoff team, how is Greer to blame? You know what I'm saying? But it's here nor there. You got to win games. And when you're winning, it masks everything. And when you're losing, everybody has to get it. Shrapnel. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, bro, I'm here for everyone being responsible. But that question said it's one person. If it was one person, it'd be coach. But since we're in this position, yeah, everybody has to get it. Ross has to get it. Greer should have had a better backup. And McDaniel probably played a part in that backup. I ain't gonna lie. That quarterback room is too friendly. It was too too many homies in there. Like, oh yeah, we're real tight. We're real friends. Let's go golfing. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. I need some uncomfortable moments. Like, dang, bro, you got somebody behind you. You know what I'm saying? Although two of my dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we need people in there who can actually win a game if the quarterback goes down.
Interesting points. Before we head off out of here, Lee says Greer, some good, some bad, particularly O-line. Gunner's boss says Ross is more interested in supporting politicians than winning football games. I think he should sell the team because you can't fire the owner, plus being the quarterback who can survive. And then he doesn't finish his point, probably loss of characters. And Tim Cowell says GM should drive the master plan. If he's only doing what the coach wants, what's the point of him? Lack of accountability is an issue, special team for starters. I have one more point to make before we head up out of here. Anything else want to say, Charlie? You're on mute.
Nah, you good.
So,
land the plane.
As Charlie made the point before, everyone kind of, well, not everyone, people predict a 13-4, 12-5 season. And, they're going to be some ups and downs, but they don't want to go through the down to appreciate the ups. So, again, unless you predicted a 17-0 season and then win the playoffs to win the Super Bowl, you predicted something else. And the Dolphins have taken some L's, and unfortunately, it's been very ugly in doing it. But like I've said before, you've taken L's without your starting quarterback. And, if you're the Jags or the Patriots or the Cleveland Browns or these other teams who have been absolutely horrid with their starters, then, there should be issues. Same way, right now, the 49ers are 3-3, losing to the Kansas City Chiefs with not a full healthy team, but a somewhat healthy team. Hopefully we get Tua back and he rights the ship. But even if not, it's somewhat bigger than football. Go home, hug your wife, hug your girlfriend, hug your friends. Don't let the Dolphins. I say to someone who's going to be in a bad mood for the next 7 days, don't let the Dolphins ruin your week. As we have one more comment before we leave, shout out to Lo-Fi Anime NFT. They say Greer signed Tua, a mega deal extended a coach. Sorry, try it again. Greer signed Tua to a mega deal, extended a coach and players based on 1.5 years of success, then drafted a developmental defensive end in the first round and developmental left tackle in the second round. That to me sounds like you want Chris Greer gone.
I will say this though. Robert Hunt was a developmental O-lineman. Now he's one of the highest paid and best O-linemen in the league. I'm just saying. I will say this, Kadeem. I'm not going to be here Wednesday, and it's going to be your birthday Wednesday. So everybody wish Kadeem a happy birthday this Wednesday. Or you can start with the early happy birthday wishes. Kadeem, it's been a pleasure to have a podcast with you, bro. I hope you enjoy your birthday. And because I'm not going to be recording, happy birthday, bro.
Greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. You now said that. I want to play you one last thing before we leave. I'm going to play it from my phone. Hopefully you can hear it. Can you hear that?
Kind of.
I'll play it one more time. Hear that?
What was that?
That is my baby's heartbeat. Had a first scan yesterday. The sound I just played was my baby's heartbeat. So when I said go home, hug your wife, hug your thing, listen, the Dolphins might have lost, but this weekend I heard my baby's heartbeat for the first time. I'm getting emotional right now. So yeah, shout out to everyone in the comments saying happy birthday, greatly appreciated. And shout out to Mr. Finster, who had just been added to the giveaway. Yeah, if we can take one positive away, is that there's so much more to life than the Dolphins being really bad at the moment. So yeah, Charlie, anything else?
Nah, man, I can't follow that up, but I will follow it up with, hey, Dolphins are going to the playoffs, Tua's coming back, and all of this is going to be forgotten.
Until the next one, guys, we shall see you soon. Peace.